How you doing, Austin?
Pretty good.
The first thing that stood out to me when I was watching you play was that you just look definitely bigger this offseason. You look like much stronger. Can you talk about that? How much weight did you gain? How did you go about doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I lost a little bit of fat, gained more muscle, and really just attacked lifting. Started taking creatine a lot more, and just eating right, focusing on what I'm eating, trying to get a lot of protein in, a lot of carbs, and that's really just a bigger focus on my nutrition at most. But I've always trained hard, but yeah, I think the creatine might have helped me a little bit or something. But just focusing on my nutrition.
How many pounds have you gained since the end of last season?
I've gained 10.
10?
10 pounds, yeah.
Was that, Fickle talked a lot about, the need to get bigger up front, but it seems like you and Rico, a lot of guys listen to that. Was that just on your own account or was that an intention from the top down that you needed to get bigger?
I kind of think it was felt from the top down a little bit. The guys in front got to get bigger. We're probably the same team, so it's let's see if we can all bump up a little bit. None of us were getting 30 plus pounds. We're not trying to play linebacker or nothing, but we got to take that upon ourselves. Let's push ourselves a little bit. What's another 5-10 pounds of muscle? I feel like I can only help you. So it was really, we took it amongst ourselves, but kind of felt like a little bit from Coach Fick and Coach Brady that we need to get a little bigger.
I feel like last year Cooper was just talking about how you've been used as a Swiss Army knife to an extent, and now he kind of wants to put you more at strong safety. Can you talk about the advantages and disadvantages of only playing one position?
Well, the advantages, there's not so much to know. You don't got to know, every position. Thankfully, playing nickel last year has kind of helped me know both positions and be in the film room with the field safeties. I know their job as well. So, last year I played Nebraska at field safety. But, advantage of playing, boundary safety and compared to nickels, I get to fit in the box a lot more. You're playing a lot more man at nickel, so I feel like teams like Iowa can just kind of run me out of plays and lead me away from certain things. But being in the boundary, I feel like I'm around the ball a lot more, and just playing with a lot more quarterback vision, and then instead of playing man as much.
Where would you say you're at your best as a player right now?
What do you mean? When am I at my best? What do you mean, by that?
Where, in terms of your skill set, in a perfect place, where do you want to play? If it was completely up to you, where would you want to play?
I'd say boundary safety. But I've had some reps kind of earlier in spring ball at nickel, and with playing a lot of snaps there last year, I'm confident in it fully. So if I have to go to nickel for a few reps, I don't despise it at all.
Coach Cooper said that safety was kind of making up for Hunter Wohler's absence leadership-wise by committee. What is your leadership style? What is leadership doing?
Yeah, for me, I'm more of a guy that kind of talks to you on the sidelines. If you need help with something, you have any questions, I'm an open ear. And, even in the locker room, I try to talk to guys. If I notice their effort isn't there, I try to address it on the field. And if I can, Coach Creek does on the field, and I'll talk to him later about certain things I feel like they could do better. But I really just try to be very open and honest with them, and I'm more of a relationship kind of guy. So, and I'll talk to you, at lunch, something about, something that's going on in practice. But aside from football, I also try to build relationships personally and, talk about their life, how school going, how things outside of the facilities are going.
And then the weight you put on over the offseason, have you been able to see kind of the payoff of that? I know there's not full contact, that's all in the game, but have you been able to see some of that payoff? Yeah,
no doubt. I feel just as fast, really, but I feel like my feet have gotten a lot better, but strength-wise, I do feel like I'm a lot stronger now.
You guys have well over a combined decade of experience at defensive back. What impact can that make in terms of communication, understanding, problem solving? Where can you see that on?
Facing this offense now, it's almost every play. There's always funky formations, unbalanced, FSL, there's motions every play. So, with the experience between me and Preston and some of the other guys like Nye and Rico, it helps a lot. We see some problems kind of with the 2s and 3s with the communication aspect of things, but that kind of comes with experience, like you said. And, once you get there, it makes things a lot more crisp and smooth for you guys once you're on the field.
Coach Cooper talked a little bit about the importance of creating takeaways, getting the ball in the offense's hands. You've had a couple of takeaways yourself this spring. Just how much do you value sort of creating those game-changing plays?
No, I value it a lot, and it's been a big emphasis for us since we got back. We lacked that last season, and we want to win a lot of games. We got a lot of hard competition coming up, and if you don't have turnovers, you're not going to win games. Or you can, it's going to be really hard. So that's a big focus we're trying to get at this year, and it's something I look for every practice, every opportunity I can.
You kind of touched on what it's like, to go against this new offense, but I wonder if you can kind of expand a little bit. What are some of the differences and Can you get a little more into some of just the challenges that you're seeing that teams might have to deal with when they play you guys?
It's a lot more eye candy and stuff. Me and Preston talk about it's kind of similar to Penn State. I mean, it's a lot of like 12 personnel, like 2 back formations, and then they might go FSL one play. But I promise you, 2 or 3 guys are going to motion in. So that's what requires the communication part, and that's something our coach has been harping on, and we try to take pride in is good communication, because if you go against an offense like that, and there's a lot of smokes and mirrors. I mean, if you have no communication, a lot can go bad.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. What's pretty much in practice is you and Preston working together pretty much all the time. How do you think you two complement each other?
I think we complement each other well. I mean, Preston's a very intelligent guy, and he's vocal on the field. He's not very vocal off the field, but it's something, working with a guy like him, he sees a lot of things maybe I might not notice, and he'll point out, and then I try to echo it amongst the whole defense or communicate with Nye in the boundaries. So it's really his visuals and what he sees, and then I try to echo that amongst the team, and it works both ways. Sometimes I might see something he does, and I'll let him know, and then we'll echo it together, and so it's we complement each other well in that aspect. Yeah.